Good morning, everybody. I'm hoping you can hear this. I'm wearing some mics. Actually, just one mic. I'm just a trial basis here. I'm hoping that it does well. I am en route to the lot. I am just getting out of the main town down here at the coast called Hasaan. And it's about it's 9 kilometers to the lot. I might shut it off prior to then, but you'll notice the road conditions, etc. And this is a main road going inland. It's considered a national highway to a place called Claveria, which is 30 kilometers beyond the lot. Again, it's a main road. The incline is not terrible. I'm going to say 3-4% grade, but it's constant. Not till we get up to close to the property does it level out. I'm not going to bore you with just the road traveling. We're going to discuss driver's license and driving here in the Philippines at the same time. So I'm hoping this mic will do its job and that you can hear me clearly. I'll cut the fan here and reverse the picture to save you more pain, and we'll get started here. The pic might be just a little shaky because even though I have a recent Samsung phone, it does not have stabilization as does my GoPro. But until yesterday, I didn't have Wi-Fi. I'm hoping that the Wi-Fi will work at the house so that I can download an update, because otherwise the thing is useless. And hopefully we can use that, because that is beautiful. I mean, you can't tell, you can't distinguish a bump from level road. It just does a tremendous job. But this is about 9, well, actually it's 8:18 in the morning. Dropped the wife off downtown. We had a little business to take care of first, and now she wants to do some shopping. So she hasn't been for quite a while to these okai stores where you can get actually some very good quality clothes from the States or other more well-to-do countries than around here in Asia. And she wants to see if she can pick up some shorts and stuff. So let her have her fun, and I'm back starting to climb and getting back to the lot. I currently am working on the screen for the top of the gutter. We got the gutters in nicely. I'm really happy with them, and it's a PVC, the quality of which I couldn't find in the States. So I'm happy with it. Hope it lasts, because this sun here, I'll tell you what, it does a number on plastics even. So we'll see how long they last. They're not cheap. Got them at the Wilcon Depot. So I'm hoping for the best. But anyway, I'm screening the top. I have to cut it and bend it and form it so that it does the job. Keep the big leaves off and etc. so that I don't have to climb up in the roof in the future. At any rate, driving here is another challenge. Can be a nightmare. Again, it's 8:30. There's no rush traffic here now. It's done. when we came up here, it was a little before 7. We had to go up to get somebody started doing some digging, just to help him out. I didn't intend on getting it done so quickly, but some relatives could really use the money, relatives of Yori, that is, and of my wife, and I thought it'd be just nice to help him out at this point. So for Christmas, he doesn't have work, so I have 3 little kids. So you do what you can to help. Gifting isn't advisable. Loaning money is not advisable, depending on the situation, of course. But you can create enemies by helping quicker than you can by not loaning money, for example. And I'm experiencing that right now. There's a certain person that will not acknowledge me, and it's a close relative of my wife's, and there's money owed, and whether that's a scapegoat so that it doesn't have to be paid back, I have no idea. So count it. Well, you can argue that it's ignorance, or just I don't know how else to classify it. At any rate, you saw the little bit of the dip in the road there. You pretty much have to crawl over that. And again, it doesn't appear like it, but we're constantly climbing. And I guess probably the best I can do around here safely is about 30 to 40 kilometers, 35 I'm doing right now, 35 kilometers per hour. And I will get up to 40 in one stretch for approximately half a mile. I can get it up to 50, 55. Otherwise, you're creeping. And there's huge trucks that come around the corners. So you pretty much have to crowd the right side or you're going to be in trouble. There's times when they didn't keep to their side and I'd have to stop and just get right on the edge of the road where there wasn't anything beyond that. I mean, here's another example of what you're going to get here in road conditions. And this, mind you, this is a major road. This is a major supposed thoroughfare to the last city in this area, Claveria, it's called. At any rate, there's no such thing as right of way here. I'm going to repeat that. There's no such thing here as right of way. You leave a hole, like in the city, for example, you leave a space, a bike's in there, whether it can fit or not. Okay, so you can't be pushy. I mean, you got to take it on the chin, because otherwise you're going to get yourself in an accident. That's hard for me to do, frankly. I mean, I have approximately 2 million driven miles with an 18-wheeler in recent years, totaling a couple million, which is a lot of driving. So I'm not a novice when it comes to driving and judging people's actions and reactions, etc. But I'll tell you what, here in the Philippines, it's a different ball game. You drive not offensively, but defensively all of the time. I mean, you're going to get in trouble. You use a horn a lot. They do also, just to let you know if that guy didn't, it just cut me off. But so most of them let you know that, hey, I'm right here. So don't move over. You better not be moving left or right in your lane. You just gotta be patient, and that's another difficulty for me. I'm learning patience, even at my age. So again, take it on the chin and just take it easy to stay out of accidents, because guess what? I don't care who's at fault. Guess who's responsible when it comes to determining if the expat is at fault or if the Filipino is? Well, guess who's at fault? Yes, the expat is. So you don't want to keep your money in your pocket, then unless you have a lot of cameras surrounding the vehicle, which I don't, you need to be super cautious. We're climbing. I wish you could see over the left side here. It just drops. It just drops. I mean, it's just, I don't know how this road places. I don't know how it how it stays put. There are places where the surface has broken open, and you avoid that, of course. Trucks have broken. These heavy trucks have broken like 8-10 inch concrete. This is all concrete, not particularly smooth, as this phone without stabilization might show you. I hope on a big screen it's not too shaky for you. At any rate, driving here is a different ball game. If you can avoid it, if you're in a city, you can. There's bus transportation even from Hassan to the larger city an hour away. Cagayan de Oro is only about 20 kilometers from Hassan, but it takes about an hour. But you can get there for about 80s. Let's see, so that's $1.50 a person, which is pretty cheap considering it's their fuel and everything, and air-conditioned buses also. These little tuk-tuks are local. They're not allowed beyond a little city called Puerto, going towards Cagayan de Oro. But bikes, here's where there. See, no signal, no nothing. Just stop where they feel like it. Take off without looking. I've almost hit several of them, so I just slowed down. I used to whip through here, much faster, and I decided, you know what? It's not worth it. It's going to slow her down and try to enjoy a little scenery. Now there's an embankment up the left side here, obviously, but on the right side it drops. I'm thinking that, and I have to find out if the Japanese weren't responsible for initially cutting this road in, because they were up in here. They had established warehouses up closer to where we are, and where the lot is, and there's flat areas where I'm sure they could drop in with their fighters and cargo planes. But I'm thinking they cut this in. I'm going to try to confirm that, because I can't. There's no other road up here, and they were up here. There's everyone that owns property up there feel that they have gold from the Japanese hidden somewhere in their property. Gold has been found. From Japanese, they cleaned out the country pretty much when they came here, and they needed storage places, right? So you hear all kinds of stories in that regard. But okay, we got a little bit. It's still an incline, but this is where I can pick it up some. $50, $55 clicks. That's about the best you can do here without shaking too much. And there's still somebody that's in more of a rush. There they go. Mitsubishi happens to be a very popular vehicle here, as is Toyota and Honda. Lots of Suzukis. Nissan's not so many. Some Fords. I haven't seen a Chev here. There may be, but at any rate, you better to let them go. I'm learning to be humble and patient on the road here. I was starting to drive like they drive, but it's just not worth it. It gets to you. It's frustrating after a while. Coming out of Cagayan de Oro one day, at Puerto, the road, the two wide, the northbound lanes, they're just two. They narrowed a lot, and the right lane takes you off of the main road, and the left brings you through Puerto to Hassan. Well, this new van, wanted over, where I was, and he was abreast of me. He wasn't ahead of me. No signal light, and just kept squeezing, and closer and closer. And my wife was getting a little excited, more than excited, and to the point where the guy moved my mirror totally sideways. We were that close. I wasn't budging. See, but that's what they do here. That's what they do. What do you call that? Is it consideration? You might argue that it's no consideration on his part. He could put a signal light on. I would have given in to a signal light. You could argue that I should have backed off and let him go. I didn't. I was in that frame of mind then that no, I'm here, you're there, and you're gonna work your way in where you can, and not in the side of my truck. You're not pushing me. I have nowhere to go. I was against the rail on the left side. So that happened twice, and anymore, I just back off. It's not worth the nerves. Just not worth the hassle and the frustration. So that's what you're going to run into. Again, what is it? You could argue that it's ignorance. Well, you could argue that there's no laws governing the way you drive. And dogs are another thing. But we'll talk about that another time. And that's true. There aren't. I think I've seen 2 mounted motorbikes, police bikes in Cagayan de Oro. You don't see anything out here. Nothing. And even in Hassan, there's nothing. Sometimes there's a local directing traffic, but it's just a barangay job. It's not a city or city cop or anything. He just he tries to help traffic keep moving. The road flattens out. It even drops here slightly, as you can maybe tell. I'm not sure. And then comes a little town. Well, driver's licenses for expats. Remember this. It might be helpful to you. You have 90 days to convert your foreign license to a Philippine driver's license, but you've got to do it within the 90 days. It eliminates driving as well as written tests. Well, I guess depending on your demeanor, I know an expat, I just met him, that even though he he had all his ducks in a row, from what I understand, they still forced him to do the tests. So there you go. You're supposed to do something within 30 days, but that's not that. Well, nobody checks on you. How do they know when you got here except if you don't have your passport on you? So, but you do have to convert. You have 90 days, 120 days away. Sorry, it was 120 days, more than 3 months. It was 4 months. And anyway, I got to this window down at the LTO, the Land Transportation Office in Cagayan de Oro, where you have to go, the only place in the area. And